personally, I can never live in Texas. I am someone who is very hot-natured, and I don't do well in humidity. I have respiratory issues due to my mast cell activation syndrome, and I can't be in humidity, period. So that would not be a good environment for me. And yeah, the South, period, that obviously is hotter. They have a hotter climate in the South in general than they do in other places. So, and plus, a lot of southern states are incredibly prone to massive tornadoes, and actually, that's actually not the reason why I wouldn't want to live in the South. It's the heat thing. But I actually don't know why I said that, because the Midwest is literally just as prone to tornadoes as the South. No, not the. Also, if anybody knows, I just almost said the Richter scale. That's for earthquakes, not tornadoes. The EF scale, enhanced Fujita, is how they measure tornadoes, and they don't measure them based on, or sorry, they measure them based on, I do believe, width and wind speeds. So if it's past a certain wind speed, that's the number that it gets. So you have EF0, EF1, EF2, EF3, EF4, and EF5. That the enhanced Fujita scale was updated in 2007, but before that, I do believe there was 12 or 13 different scales that it could be, which is insane. I don't know how it changed to a lower number, but scientifically, they don't really think it's possible for an EF6 to happen based on how they measure them now. But I mean, if you think about how wide that El Reno tornado was, like, technically that should have gotten an EF6. On this scale. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong because it's not coming up. It's not coming up. Sorry, I literally just turned into like a rant about tornadoes. This is ridiculous. I'm almost done, I promise. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Yeah, the tri-state tornado actually was number one. But, yeah, okay, it says before the 2013 tornado in El Reno, Oklahoma, the Hallam tornado was the widest tornado on record. Okay, so we're talking about the widest tornadoes. That's what I mean by bigger. Yeah, I was right about it being in 2004, but okay, it was in Nebraska. Nebraska is such a random state. Like, nobody, it's argued yeah, me and my friend, like what? Like obviously there is a difference. There is a significant difference between acquaintances and friends. You know what I mean? Like everybody has acquaintances, everybody has people that they know and who know of them. But some people, rarely do people literally have zero friends. Like that's very rare in my opinion. People will tell you it's not rare to try and make you feel better. But I mean, let's be real here. It is rare for people to not have any friends whatsoever. But I'm just saying, everybody has acquaintances, at least. People that you know. So, I mean, if you're trying to say, like, I don't really have any close friends, that's one thing. But, like, people like that just annoy the shit out of me because it's like, what are you gaining out of saying that? And what are you even trying to do? And then I get looked at like one of those people who are just saying it to get somebody else to say it. And it's like, no, like, that's not why I'm saying that. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I obviously don't say that I don't have friends for sympathy or attention. It's just something that I'm open and honest about. You know what I mean? Like I used to be really embarrassed and ashamed of the fact that I had no friends. And I'm not gonna lie, I still am, but it's not something I am sitting there going out of my way to keep to myself because it's like I know that it's not my fault that it's not my fault that I don't have any friends. Socializing is very hard for me for a multitude of different reasons. And people are just fake as fuck. And when you don't enable them, when you don't coddle them, when you tell them the truth, when you call them out on their bullshit, they don't like that. That's why the friends that I did have, which somebody told me why I've had the worst luck with friends, so friends being people that literally just talk shit about me behind my back and literally like went out of their way to make me have to do everything. Like, girl, insane. Absolutely insane. And like, these were people that had similar illnesses, if not the same illnesses as me too, that were literally being such just horrific people. And then my closest friend that I had for a long time, she always told me, like, you can be honest with me about anything, you know, like making it seem like our friendship's unbreakable. And then she like flipped out on me because I told her that I was tired of her complaining about, I think I told her it was in the beginning of COVID, and I was really worried because there had been a lot going on with health-wise with everybody at that point, and I was really worried. They're talking about this new virus that's killing people. Like, I was worried. The last thing on my mind was the fact that I couldn't go shopping and all these different things, and she sounded like a spoiled brat. All she talked about 24/7 was very oddly specific things that she couldn't do. And like, I get it, it was frustrating. Quarantine was frustrating. I nearly lost my mind. Everybody did. But the thing is like, I wasn't allowed to express what worried me about it without her acting like I was being over dramatic, but yet she could go on and on and on about how she couldn't leave the house. And I never sat there and told her that she was over dramatic for it. But the second that I said, like, okay, like, you need to stop invalidating the way that I feel, or like I feel like you're invalidating the way that I feel, she like completely ghosted me after 2 years of friendship. Like, I know people have been ghosted by friends that they've known for way longer, but I didn't have any friends like growing up of like, oh, I don't like this smell. Like, no, it could be a smell that I love, but because of how strong it is and how sensitive I am to smells, it's gonna make me nauseous. It's gonna make me dizzy. It's gonna do something. So like, don't say you're sensitive to smells if you're not. Like, come on. That's like somebody who's extremely tan being like, I'm so pale, I need to get it in. I'm so pale. Like, well, actually, that's not a good comparison, but I'm just saying, like, you sound like an idiot because it's obviously not true. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, this one might be controversial, but people who are overly obsessed with wait, where was I going with that? Where was I even going with that? Sorry, I completely forgot what I was saying. I'm trying to think of, so I got Gatorade all over my mouth now. Another one, people who don't clean underneath their fingernails. Absolute pet peeve. Absolute pet peeve. Annoys the shit out of me. Especially females, because we don't necessarily expect that from men. But like, if you're a girl, why are your nails so dirty? Like, you be preaching about how people need a shower every single day, and yet your nails are filthy. And it grosses me out too, because it's like, that actually brings me to another topic that, oh, sorry about that. That actually brings me to another topic. It's the way that girls will preach about how we should all be showering every single day. And number one, not taking into consideration the fact that a lot of people have health issues, a lot of people are disabled, a lot of people have crippling depression, a lot of people are, full-time single moms and with multiple children. They don't have time. And also, the same girls, the same people that will preach about how you need to shower every single day are the same girls who don't even wash their hands after they get home from the store. Or they don't wash their hands before they eat. They only wash their hands after they go to the bathroom. It's like, okay, talk to me when you actually wash your hands. Talk to me when you're not making yourself sick constantly because you touch everything and you never wash your hands. Like, you literally go through the McDonald's drive-thru and pay them and then eat your fries with the same hand that you gave them your money to. Like, it's insane to me. Absolutely, absolutely insane. Which also, another one is people who hate on McDonald's. Like, you like it. Is it good for us? No. Do we like it anyway? Yes. Like, McDonald's isn't my absolute favorite, obviously. But I ain't gonna sit here and say that I don't like it. Like, them chicken nuggets are good. Like, you don't have to love McDonald's, but being like, oh my gosh, like, McDonald's is so bad for you, I don't eat it at all. Like, what do you mean? And also, if you genuinely don't eat McDonald's, like, it's people who want a medal for being vegan or vegetarian or not eating fast food. It's like, I'm not a horrible person because I eat meat. I'm not a horrible person because I eat fast food. I think that's great that you're vegan. I genuinely do. I don't mean that sarcastically. But for me personally, I'm not the kind of person that likes a lot of like bread and potatoes and like that. I have to have a meat with something. Like, it's a texture thing for me. And also, I am very small boned and I lose weight very easily, and I'm already underweight as it is. So if I was to eat nothing but vegetables, I'd probably wither away. Like, genuinely. But also, I don't have to justify why. I shouldn't have to justify like why I eat meat. You know what I'm saying? Just like you shouldn't have to justify why you're vegan. You know, it's your life. and share